Euromaxx highlights. And here's your host, Louise Houghton.
Hello and thanks for joining us. With sport being the topic of conversation at the moment, we start the show with the sport of kings. But before that, here's a quick look at some of our other stories coming up today. The World in London, a photo exhibition to mark the Summer Olympics. Scenic Spain, the Costa Brava is a top European holiday destination. On the internet, featuring an online furniture store in Berlin. But first, with stress becoming more prominent in our everyday lives, people are turning to sport to release their tension. White-collar boxing is the newest trend in a number of German cities, and it's attracting the likes of managers, lawyers and businessmen who use the same principles in and outside the ring. Courage, responsibility and a lot of determination to win.
Boxing is the sport of kings, and now of businessmen. The White Collar Boxing Club in Hamburg sees boxing as a way to offset the stress of the office. The competitive aspect doesn't play an important role here. Architect Matthias Seiberlich joined the club 6 months ago. His friends and family noticed the difference.
My wife approves because I'm more relaxed and it gets me in better physical shape. My friends think it's a good thing too. They were worried we'd hit each other in the face, but with the right protection gear and coaching, it's fine.
The boxers have to undergo rigorous training before they're ready for a bout. They learn coordination and timing. Coach Tim Albrecht's pointers are short and clear. The former Kickboxers Fitness Club specializes exclusively in boxing.
Boxing has had an upward trend for about 10 years now, thanks to Henry Maske and the Klitschko brothers. I see that in the increasing membership here.
Matthias Seiberlich is among the newer members. He is currently refurbishing this apartment building, and he says the job requires creativity and precision. But physical fitness is also important in his line of work.
I was struggling with a painful slipped disc for almost 9 months. It forced me to cut down my activities so much that boxing turned into a sort of escape.
Senior executives and decision-makers often face lots of stress and pressure. They have to learn to keep their emotions under control. Psychologist and business coach Dennis Brodbeck advises his clients to learn a combat sport. He also coaches the Japanese martial art Aikido.
Don't let the little problems of daily life rattle you. Practice fending off the big ones through sports. If you don't get upset when you're really attacked and thrown to the ground, then everyday problems won't bother you anymore.
Seiberlich confirms it's made a big difference to his life.
I used to rush over there from the office. I rushed to change clothes. I was just rushing in general. And after an hour of boxing practice, I was worn out but happy. Driving home in my car, I felt like a monk who just finished meditating.
White-collar boxing is a good way for executives to let off steam.
I have a stressful job. I have a virtual team worldwide that I just talk to on the phone. And if they don't do what I want, I get mad. But before I start knocking in heads, I'd rather come here and let it out constructively.
After 6 months of training, Matthias Seiberlich feels ready for his first sparring match. He's also prepared to face his opponent. Discipline, precision and a healthy portion of aggression are all qualities that an executive needs outside the boxing ring as well.
There are lots of parallels between boxing and working life, especially in management or in banks and jobs like that. You have to be able to act fast and spontaneously and take risks. You have all that in boxing too.
Aggression is often seen to be negative, but what we want to do is approach other people and motivate and engage them. First, I have to find the energy within myself and develop a passion. When I talk about it, I see my foot moving forward on its own. First, I have to redefine this as something positive.
Matthias Seiberlich felt euphoric when he discovered those qualities in himself. He says he's going to stick with boxing.
Because it's lots of fun.
Boxing, the ideal sport for anyone who has to make tough decisions.
And boxing is just one of the many disciplines in this year's Summer Olympics. If you didn't already know, Britain is the host of the 2012 Games, and its capital, London, is busier than normal at the moment. More than 8 million residents live there, made up of people with origins from all over the world. As a mark of recognition to this multicultural society, an exhibition has opened displaying a portrait photo from every nation competing in the Olympic Games.
These portraits all have something in common. All of these people live in London or did so when their pictures were taken. Each photo stands for a different country that has taken part in the Olympics. The pictures are currently on show at 2 locations in London, one of them Victoria Park. Curator Stephanie Braun worked on the exhibit for 3.5 years.
It's really to show the diverse approaches to portrait photography, and I think we've done that with these 204 photos we've collected.
Each picture was taken by a different photographer. The subjects range from a kitchen help from Mongolia to a lord from India. This photograph was taken by Linda McCartney. The portrait of a British face is tragic. It shows the late fashion designer Alexander McQueen. The portrait for Germany shows a woman from Berlin who's lived in the British capital for 30 years.
I don't think there's any other, or maybe just a couple of other big cities where so many nationalities live alongside each other, and that's why we were able to realise this idea.
Oxford Street is the exhibition's second venue. One person seeing her picture for the first time in public is Judith Craig Morency Nalos. She and her daughter Afrika are the faces of Haiti.
It's very exciting to sort of be a part of it, and I feel like I'm able to sort of be a part of the Olympics by doing this. So that was one of the other things when they asked me to do it. I thought, oh, that way I can sort of be connected to the Olympics.
Morency Nalos was photographed by Dennis Morris, known for his pictures of Bob Marley and the Sex Pistols. He spent months looking for a Haitian model.
And London's a very diverse city, but there are some communities that are larger than others, and there's very few Haitians here, so it was quite hard to find someone. And then apart from that, it's actually finding the right person.
London has no Haitian embassy or Haitian restaurants. The photographer finally found his 32-year-old model on the internet. Judith was an orphan adopted by a Canadian couple. She's lived in London for 7 years. Her story intrigued the photographer.
I really like that particular image with the child. I think what comes across in the photograph is her expression is very, very strong. There's a look of determination and an awareness of, you can see that she's going to go somewhere.
Back in Victoria Park in East London. Here, visitors can get background information on each picture on the internet. One picture stands out. The face of North Korea. It's the only portrait whose model remains anonymous. Portraits are still lacking for 6 of the 204 countries taking part in the Olympics. Tiny island states in the Pacific Ocean like Guam and the Marshall Islands. it's hoped models will still be found.
We spent 3.5 years searching, and this shows the reality of London. London is a city that's always in motion. People move here, then move away again. Many of the people portrayed only came for a few months and are no longer here. Others have lived here for years and will continue to live here.
Adverts have been posted at the exhibition in the hope of finding models from the countries not yet represented. The search will continue till December. Then the portraits will become part of the collection of the Museum of London.
Now, summer is the time of year when the sun breaks through the clouds and brightens up the streets below. A new company in the city of Cologne is taking advantage of this fact, and business is booming for them just a few months after opening. Their sunglasses are stylish, colourful and contemporary, and they're all made from one of the world's natural materials, wood.
Anyone looking to stand out from the crowd this summer just needs to ask Christian Kunz and Matthias Körper. They belong to a group of 5 designers who call themselves Kerbholz. They make sunglasses from natural wood.
We got the idea traveling through Central America. I went there with a friend and we went to lots of craft markets. We saw many different ways of doing things with wood and thought to ourselves, let's do something else.
The sunglasses are modelled on design classics and made of tropical wood. They have names like Justus, Ferdinand, Leopold or Alphonse. The designers shun thick varnish to keep the surfaces smooth. The young entrepreneurs set up their company in May 2012. Their wooden sunglasses are sold online and at 22 dealerships. A pair costs €139 upwards.
Every tree is different, so every pair of our sunglasses is unique. The feel of the materials is also really fantastic. Here, for example, this is a pair of Alphonse glasses in sandalwood. It feels really good.
Carola Lukau knows all about wooden sunglasses and everything else that's hot this summer. She's a consultant at a Cologne opticians, advising on the latest fashion in eyewear.
Wooden glasses aren't all that easy to make, and they're not as easy to fit as plastic frames. That's why it's important that they sit perfectly right from the start. And anyone who knows wood knows it's something unusual to have on your face.
These days, these sunglasses are far from unusual. Aviator sunglasses. Originally, they were made for American military pilots, but later gained cult status. In 2012, they're as wearable as ever.
They differ in detail. The difference is that for ladies, they have more features. So, for example, here you've got leather in various colors. They're still big this year, and some are a bit more rounded. That makes them more streamlined. For gentlemen, they're a bit squarer. They usually prefer things that aren't too playful.
And another classic design, the round-shaped panto glasses of the 1920s. Also this summer, more and more people are wearing cat eye glasses or butterfly-shaped glasses. The vintage look is in.
The cat eye and butterfly glasses are very new models and haven't been on the market for long. Any lady can wear them if she wants to. The cat eye glasses are more for narrow faces. Anyone can wear the butterfly glasses.
Colour blocking is also a must right now. Yellow, pink, green or bright red, the bolder the better. With colour blocking, anything goes.
I definitely like them. Because I have a large head, I choose a model that really suits my face. And I like neon colours, whatever's in fashion right now.
I think light colors are nice for the summer, like these that are a bit pearl-colored.
They're colorful, they're big, they're plastic, modern but at the same time classic.
I generally prefer sunglasses that are a bit bigger, so they cover half your face.
My favorite sunglasses at the moment are the ones I'm wearing, aviator glasses. I find them really stylish. They're okay to go out in, right?
For fans of the wooden variety, the guys from Kerpolz are already planning their next collection. Alongside models in exotic zebrano and sandalwood, they'll be turning to native German wood for new inspiration.
And you will certainly need some of those in the Spanish Costa Brava region. This northeast coastline of Spain was initially popular with those wanting to escape the city life in Barcelona. But in the 60s, sun seekers from further afield discovered the area too. However, there is a lot more to the Costa Brava than just sandy beaches and cheap hotels. You just need to be guided off the beaten track.
Spain's Costa Brava is a wild coast. Not far from the French border, it's a romantic destination for hikers. A cliff landscape, sculpted by wind and waves for 450 million years. Further south, in a protected cove, is the former fishing village of Cadaqués. Its appearance has hardly changed since the painter Salvador Dalí made it famous. The light on the coast and its changing moods inspired Dalí and other artists. Dalí moved here 80 years ago. This house is where the surrealist painter and his wife Gala spent most of their lives.
Dalí sought solitude in Cadaqués, solitude and the landscape of the Costa Brava. That's why he chose this suburb of Cadaqués. Sometimes other artists stayed in one of the fishermen's huts, but Dalí lived here. He lived withdrawn with his companion Gala and worked.
That turned the simple fishing village into a pilgrimage site for art lovers. But tourism hasn't completely driven out fishing. In Palamos, for example, fishing is still important. Every afternoon, the boats return to the harbor with fish and shellfish. If you visit the tapas bars of Palamos in the evening, you can try out all the coastal region's delicacies. The wines have a good reputation, too. The Pyrenees are not far away, so an outing into the interior is a good idea. The medieval villages here seem almost untouched, each more beautiful than the last. Good accommodations can be found away from the coast as well. The Hotel La Malcontenta was built on an old estate. It offers peace and solitude just a few kilometers from the nearest beach. One of the Costa Brava's best-known bathing resorts is Tossa de Mar, with its broad sandy beach and its medieval fortress. It has become the image of the coast for millions of visitors.
Mass tourism arrived here when the film Pandora and the Flying Dutchman was shot. It's a famous film with Ava Gardner that was tremendously successful all over the world. It made the Costa Brava, its landscape, and its inhabitants internationally famous.
In the old part of Tossa, a sculpture of the American film diva Ava Gardner commemorates this success story from the 1950s. Fishing nets used to be laid out every day on the long beach in Lloret de Mar, before it too became one of the most important resorts on the Costa Brava. This patrician house, today a museum, displays a completely different Lloret, the shipbuilding one that traded with the Americas. In the 18th and 19th centuries, business with the New World led to the rise of a class of well-to-do citizens in Lloret. People here called them the Indianos. Many seafaring traders came home and became patrons of the arts and philanthropists. They donated the money to build this church in the Modernismo style, an art and culture movement of the late 19th century, known for its colorful, elaborate ceramics. This cemetery of the Indianos, with its artfully designed stone masonry, is one of Lloret's most interesting sights.
An Indiano was a person with a lot of money, and he showed it, for example, by building. He built big houses for himself, not just these final resting places. The dominant style was clearly Modernismo.
In 1919, a noble patron founded the Santa Clotilde Gardens. The terraced landscape was based on Italian Renaissance gardens. This isn't the only place to experience the gentle side of the Costa Brava. Many hidden bays, often accessible only by hiking path or the sea, contribute to the charm of this coastal region in northeastern Spain.
Now, more and more people are shopping on the internet these days, whether it's for gifts, groceries, or even holidays. Online furniture stores have also gained a lot of popularity. One of Germany's fastest growing companies is right here in Berlin, and they offer some rather interesting designs.
A pattern composed of codes allows you to leave notes on this chair. This sideboard is made from the wood of a Chinese fishing boat. This unusual designer furniture is available only online, and the stock is changing constantly. That's the idea behind Fashion for Home. About 100 employees work on the simple but effective concept here in Berlin. They've long outgrown their office on Alexanderplatz. Since its founding in October 2009, the team has grown rapidly. Mark Appelhoff started the company with a partner. The fashion industry gave them the idea for the online furniture store.
In the last 20 or 30 years, a lot has changed in the fashion world. You express your lifestyle through your clothes. But that still hasn't happened in the furniture industry, because the industry dictates what's available. Furniture stores all offer the same things, while we give people the opportunity to be more individual, and we make it affordable.
Fashion for Home doesn't produce the furniture until after it's been ordered. There's no storage facility and no middleman. That cuts down on expenses. Customers vote online for designs and colors that make it into the product range. This coffee table won the online vote, and it's now on its way into many living rooms. The concept is an ideal way for new designers to make their mark. They can send in their designs or upload them directly to the homepage. Designer Laura von Goslar decides whether or not they have potential.
The design has to be something we can actually do. First of all, it has to be something that appeals to us, that we like, that fits in our product range. That's the first hurdle. The second hurdle is, can we produce it, and can we produce it at a certain price?
Online furniture is a promising market, growing about 20% each year. Furniture giant IKEA has only slowly expanded its online product range in a bid to protect its stores. Other big furniture stores in Germany, like Höfner, also prefer to see customers in their showrooms. Customers can browse online, but they have to go to a store to make a purchase.
I think they have a good reason for not having a full range online. If we keep to the example of IKEA, they make a third of their profit with impulse buys and the ice cream and hot dog machines outside the cash registers. And they build up customer loyalty.
Now, Fashion for Home wants to do business offline too. Furniture is being chosen for a showroom which will open soon in central Berlin. Interior decorators will be standing by to advise prospective buyers.
A showroom is important in the sense that customers still want to touch things, to test them. It's important to try it out, especially with upholstery.
Trying out furniture is not exactly a new idea. The company wants to open more shops, but Fashion for Home still wants to concentrate on expanding its website.
We're optimistic that an ever-growing number of consumers are prepared to buy furniture online. People buy from home for their home.
About 100,000 customers have already bought furniture online from Fashion for Home. The company also has a no-questions 30-day return policy. Mark Appelhoff is confident that when it comes to buying furniture, the future is online.
And talking of online, that is where you can always go to see any of our reports again. Thanks for joining us today, everyone. I hope you've enjoyed the show. But all that's left for me to do right now is to say goodbye, ciao, and as we say here in Germany, tschüss.